Hello everyone and welcome to the Atlanta Open Series. I'm Glenn Jones, joined in the sideboard by Chris Andersen.
Good morning.
It's the last Standard Open of Innistrad format. It's gone forever. This is the last chance you have to play with a lot of cards.
Right, yeah. Hopefully no more Jund for a while.
Yeah, well, cross our fingers that the absence of Thragtusk and Olivia gives us a break.
Right.
You actually opted to go with a deck you're a little better known for playing in a different format.
Yeah, this is definitely not the same deck, but playing Elves today. I was planning on actually playing a green-white life gain deck with like Rock's Faithbenders, Trading Post, Chalice of Life. Like Jerry built it earlier in the week. He's like, I really didn't know what I wanted to play. So he's like, if you don't really care what you want to play, I've got this spicy brew for you. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I played some games the last night and was like, nope. It was really clunky. So my friend Ryan, who I'm staying with, said he had an extra elf deck, and I was like, 4 Elves Visionaries? Yeah, I guess I can do that. I'm sold. So playing Elves today.
Yeah, you're easy to trick, I guess. Is the moral of the story.
Show me an Elvish Visionary and I'll do just about anything you want me to.
Alright, so this deck is very similar to the deck we first saw, the Hyper Mana deck, I should say, that Huey played into the top 8 in New Jersey.
Yeah, it's pretty much that deck.
So you've obviously got a lot of Garriks. When we first were playing with this deck, we used to call it 8 Garriks.
Okay.
That was just the name of the deck for us. But your core is the mana. You've got 4 Arbor Elf, you've got 4 Elvish Mystic, you have Avacyn's Pilgrims, Elvish Archdruid, and even the Visionaries that you just mentioned often function as mana alongside your
Archdruids.
And that accelerates you into your large threats. So tell me a little bit about those.
So yeah, the deck does 2 things very well. The first thing is make 5 drops on turn 3. So Colonian Hydra and Wolfer Silverheart. Wolfer Silverheart's actually one of my favorite cards in Standard that nobody plays. I played it in Naya for a little while as a 1-of, and it was really good. But this deck utilizes it even better. You could just get an 8/8 on turn 3. Actually it's more of 12/12 on turn 3. It's 12 power worth of guys, and you can get an 8/8 Trampler on turn 3, and that's going to be more than a lot of decks can deal with. You get 12 1-drops to accelerate you into that. You can go turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Elf, turn 3 Hydra. You can do turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Archdruid, turn 3 Hydra. You could also do turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Archdruid, turn 3 Garrick, which that gets you up to 6 mana. So the deck also runs 4 Garrick. I can't remember his name.
Caller of Beasts.
Caller of Beasts. That's the one.
The big Garrick.
Yeah.
Big
so you run. Garrick's the only spell in the entire deck, so you have like 30 some creatures. I think there's 22 lands, 4 Garricks, so 36, is that right? Does that sound right?
It sounds close.
34 creatures. Yeah, 34 creatures in the deck, so his +1 is very potent. You also can -3 him and just drop a Crater Hoof into play.
Okay. You also have some synergy, which obviously the best green-white land we've seen in quite some time. Gavany Township has been very good, and Colonian Hydra, Gavany Township.
Once again, 34 creatures in the deck.
Super real.
Right, lots of mana accelerators. Gavany Township is so good. You play 4 of them, that's how good it is. It's almost more of a spell than a land in this deck, I think. If you were to cut them, you'd probably want to cut some number for spells.
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah.
A lot of games wind up with you, stalling when you don't have a threat or when your threat dies, or you can't land a Garrick, and you just have all these elves, and Township obviously turns those elves
real
into
threats.
something very, very different very quickly. Moving on, you're supplementing the creature base a little bit. You've got Loxodon Smiter kind of as this in-between guy.
2 of. Loxodon Smiter on turn 2 is just really powerful, and it's very easy to do with 12 1-drop accelerators.
So it's sort of like a backup theory on the theory of Fat Man very fast.
Right. He's the last card in the deck. Like if you were to cut something, it probably would end up being the Smiter. But he's just good, 4/4 on turn 2 is really good.
Makes sense.
So the second thing, obviously, the deck really does really well is drop a Crater Hoof into play.
Unlike few decks in Standard. Well, with Unburial Rites around, I guess it's kind of a competition, but no one's really doing that anymore.
Nobody's really doing that, If you can Unburial Rite something, it probably doesn't matter what it is, you usually win.
Everyone but Brad is off it.
Why bother hardcasting?
But you can legitimately hardcast it in this deck pretty frequently.
Very easily.
Obviously, Garrick can...
Archdruid does a lot of work to being able to cast that card. Garrick -3s it into play really easy. And you've got, tons and tons of mana, guys, so you can usually put it into play on turn 5 as long as they're not killing all of your guys off.
Sure.
And that's usually enough to win the game.
As these decks sort of get more and more linear towards the end of Standard, we've seen Jund not really do that well in the past few Standard Opens, which is one of the decks that can really threaten this one with Bonfire.
They play tons of removal and they play Bonfire of the Damned, both very scary things for me.
Decks like Aristocrats and Green-Red Aggro sort of have pushed Bonfire of the Damned away from the format, it feels like. So it means you kind of can feel a lot better about this choice, especially in the last weekend.
I think it's a good choice for this week only. I don't know if it was a good choice last week, and obviously there is no next week. But I think Jund would probably start researching in a couple of weeks if there was more format to be played, just the cyclical way of things. But I think for this week, Elves is a really good choice.
Okay. Well, last but not least, you have a sideboard card that's actually been showing up a little bit more and more in Standard. I noticed. Every week I feel like I see more copies of this card in top 16s, and it's Pay No Heed.
Yep, Pay No Heed.
Obviously, it's a great answer to Bonfire the Damned. Are there any other specific cards you're planning to use it on?
I mean, I don't... Like, Bonfire's definitely the big one.
Enemy number one.
I suppose Mizium Mortars also does similar
Bonfire
thing.
Pardue.
Yeah, for the most part. Other than that, I don't really think so. Like, I would like to use it in something like the Hexproof matchup if I could target them. But, yeah, that's not realistic, so... I don't know. I definitely put it in there for Bonfire. As the day progresses, though, I might find some other uses for it. But I don't know. It isn't. You do have to use an entire card for it, and the ability usually isn't worth the card. So, with the exception of sweepers. So.
Well, I'd encourage you to use it in the Hexproof matchup.
Sure. Yeah.
It doesn't say target anywhere on here.
Oh, it does say target. Okay, somebody told me it said target. Yeah, then I'm going to play it against
Somebody almost did you dirty. I got you, Chris. I'm right here.
Scum.
All right. Well, we'll let Chris get back to Pay No Heeding some unflinching courages
that sounds exciting.
later on in the day. Thanks for joining me, Chris. Good luck.
Thank you.